guys, it's Kara from Health, Home, and Happiness, and today we're going to talk about Instant Pots. So Instant Pots are, I'll show you mine, something that are becoming incredibly popular, and there's a few different things that I've heard you guys ask about, or I've just heard from talking to other moms that you seem to want to know about. So first I'm going to talk about what you can do when your Instant Pot isn't cooking enough, or cooking fast enough. And that's change the seal. So I have an orange seal in here, and that's actually the biggest complaint that I hear is that people will start and they'll do an Instant Pot recipe and it's supposed to like cook a chicken in 30 minutes, or it's supposed to cook something else in like 30 minutes, and they've given it more than enough time, like more than double the amount of time, and it's still not cooking fast. And so when that happens, you need to change your seal. And they're really cheap. I'll link to all this stuff when I'm done with the live video, just write in the comments or something. But so you can get a 3-pack on Amazon, and I want to say they're like $6 for 3 of them. And so you just pull, yours will come with a white one, and so you can see I've already changed it. You'll just pull the seal out, and I think it probably takes, I don't know, I think I change out my seal maybe once a month, but they're like $2 or $3. So here's a new seal. And then there's like a sort of wire rim, and you just want to make sure that your seal seals in there. So you just push it in and it should be firm. You shouldn't be able to like pull it out easily, but you do want to make sure that it's in all the way. Like if there are any folds or any creases in it, see there, I just replaced my seal. If there's any folds or any creases in it, it won't seal the Instant Pot, and so it won't be able to come to pressure, and the pressure is what you need for it to cook well. So that's the first thing that we're going to talk about, is if your Instant Pot doesn't cook fast enough, you need to replace your seal. They're super cheap on Amazon. So then the second thing we are going to talk about is the different functions that your Instant Pot has. They've got all these buttons on it, and I'll tell you what I use on mine is Saute, and I use that as like, it's pretty much like a burner on your stove, only I'm not sure if you can tell right here, but we've got a breakfast bar, and so I can see out into my living room and I can see out into my dining room where my kids are. So instead of being like behind me facing the stove, a lot of times I'll just cook all of dinner, even if I'm not using the pressure setting, in my pressure cooker. So to do this right now, I'm going to show you how I use Saute. You can adjust, it defaults to medium and it defaults to 30 minutes, which is fine. You can always add more time if you need to. And so we don't use the lid for that pressure setting. It's just going to preheat just like a stove burner would. And I'm going to be browning some meatballs in there, which then we will add some tomato sauce to, and I'll show you how to cook rice and meatballs all at the same time. A little later on in this, but right now we're going to start using the saute function just to brown our meatballs. And so that's what's really awesome about this instead of a slow cooker. So we're going to let that was just avocado oil. I put it down on the bottom. We're going to let that oil come to heat, and this is where an Instant Pot is a lot easier to use than a slow cooker. I'm going to see if I can do this so you can see what's going on. While we let that oil heat. In a slow cooker, you'd have to do this on the stove and dirty another dish. It's not gonna work. All right, there we go. So in a slow cooker, you'd have to do this on the stove and dirty another dish and make a mess of your stove, but this kind of contains it all in the bottom of the Instant Pot, which is where we're gonna cook it also. So you can kind of feel, just like put your hand in there for a second and see if it's getting hot. These are meatballs from our freezer class. I'll link you to that in the comments as well. So these are just raw meatballs, but they're frozen. And this is what we're gonna have for dinner tonight. So I just put in as many as I need to in that slow cooker, or in the Instant Pot. Can you see them down there? There. And we're just going to do this to brown them, and that just gives them a nice flavor. It kind of keeps what you're cooking from tasting all the same. And so that's why a lot of people don't like the slow cooker. They say that everything tastes the same. But in the Instant Pot, it doesn't, because we get to brown it before we cook it. So we're just going to let that start to brown, and we'll cook that for like 5 or 10 minutes, just until all the sides are brown before we add stuff to it. So another thing I want to tell you, oh wow, let me move it. There. About the Instant Pot is having a bowl that fits inside your Instant Pot is really helpful. I'm going to show you how I use that to cook rice along with my meatballs and red sauce all at once in the Instant Pot. But then also you can use it to freeze stuff. So this is like a big batch of soup that I made, but when I froze it, I just stuck it right into the bowl and in the bag. And so now this is perfect to, if we want soup for dinner, I can just stick it right in the Instant Pot and it fits in there. I don't have to thaw it first. So that's another thing, when you freeze stuff for the Instant Pot, try to freeze it in a container so you can just freeze it in there and then pull it out. And then it'll obviously stay in the shape in the freezer. So this is, that way you don't have to thaw it right before you put it in the Instant Pot in the morning. Like if you're gonna use the slow cooker function, I could just pull this out of the bag, kind of flip it out, and then put it in the slow cooker function. And then it'll be ready when I get home at night without having to thaw it. So here we are just going to keep browning those meatballs. And all that good stuff at the bottom, you'll still get in your, you'll keep all that flavor in your food instead of losing it like you would with a slow cooker. So since those are starting to brown, today I am just using canned tomato sauce. Back to school time can get a little hectic, and you guys should know that about me anyway. I don't make everything from scratch, and if I need to, we buy lots of stuff from Costco. So I'm just going to put that tomato sauce in. The meatballs started to brown, so they got those good brown flavor. And this tomato sauce will also count as the liquid needed to bring the pressure cooker up to pressure. So you need like half a cup to 1 cup of liquid to bring this up to pressure. So I'm going to turn, we had it on the saute function, I'm just going to turn it off. And then I'm going to show you what I do to cook meatballs. So there's meatballs in there. I could see better what you guys can see. So there's meatballs in there, and we're just going to put the trivet on top of them. Put our bowl that fits in the Instant Pot on top of the trivet. And then I'm making rice to go with those meatballs. So there's 1 cup of rice, and this is 1.5 cups of chicken stock. So you guys have seen this takes me like 3 seconds. I can do this while my kids are eating breakfast. Put it back on. And then from here, just gonna put the lid on. And then this takes, for the meatballs to cook, for the rice to cook, you need at least 10 minutes, and the meatballs will probably take a little bit more than that. So I'm just gonna put it on manual and move it up to 15 minutes. And that's it. So that's how you use the Instant Pot. You cook 2 things at once. You keep all the mess in the Instant Pot. You can look out, you can move it wherever you need to cook so that you can still see your kids doing their thing. And then you can also use the slow cooker function, which I showed you with the bowl, how you can freeze slow cooker meals. And then you can just use it as a regular slow cooker. I like it especially because, move that up, there we go. I like it especially because the pot is easier than my slow cooker pot to clean in the dishwasher. Like I just kind of give it a scrub with a brush or a sponge, and then I stick it in the dishwasher, and it's not like those big ceramic pots that take up a ton of space. So I just wanted to show you those little tricks for using the Instant Pot, and hopefully a lot of you guys will enjoy them. And it's good to see you here. We'll see you later.